Hi Virgo, and welcome to your second reading for today. Okay, this one is going to be a little bit different than the reading earlier. Okay, what does Virgo need to be aware of? What does Virgo need to be aware of? Sorry about that. My sister, we had a knock at the door. Anyway, what does Virgo need to be aware of? Yeah, put it back. Wait, take this, put it back. You can keep that one, okay. So let's keep going. What do you need to be aware of? What does Virgo need to be aware of? Well, apparently I was supposed to take this one, okay. What does Virgo need to be aware of? Four cards. Alright, one moment, Virgo. Got another card's flying all over the place. Keep or put away or put back. Okay, with this one I put back. I don't take. This one I keep. Okay, last card. What does Virgo need to be aware of? What does Virgo need to be aware of? There's one card missing. These was the last card for Virgo. What do they need to be aware of? Okay. Let's see what we have for you, Virgo. What did I do a reading similar for? Was it? It wasn't Capricorn, it was Taurus. Alright, so if you have Virgo and you have Taurus placement somewhere, you might also want to check out their reading. They got similar cards, so there may also be a message in there for you as well. If you have also know that you have Taurus somewhere in your chart. But anyway, let's focus on you, Virgo, because this is your reading. Your conscious thoughts and actions you have today for tomorrow. It's not necessarily a bad thing depending on how you do it. Virgo, you are living in the moment. You are living for today. If there's something you want to do, you do. If there's something you want to say, you say it. If there's someplace you want to be, you have every intention of being there. It's so funny because you also have This card is associated with the full moon. And when, in a sense, you don't have an issue with manifesting the life that you want. If you know you want it, you move on that type of time. You live in that kind of energy. Like if you want financial wealth and abundance, you live like you're already financially wealthy and abundant, like you already have it, which is, in a sense, draws more to you. But at the same time, which is why I find it strange, because these cards are also associated with 5 stages of death, which are anger, depression, bargaining, denial, and acceptance. And I'm well aware that I did not do that in order, but those are the 5 stages. Not in order, but those are the 5 stages. Anyway, the stage you're in is in denial. That's what I'm picking up on with this card. You're in denial about your present reality of where you currently are in life. Sure, you want to live lavishly, but at the same time, are you in a situation where you're currently able to do that? Sure, there's living in the moment, but at the same time, live within your means. If you know you can't realistically spend more than what you're spending or do more than what you're doing now, then why try and use the attempt to do it at all if you're not in a situation where you're ready. Say for example you want to buy something that's $400, but realistically you only have $100. You can't make $400 out of $100. The 100 is not magically going to turn into $400 that same day. But the way you're living life is like, you know you can't afford it, you know if you can't do it at this present time, you're still going to find a way to do it if you get it done, and then tomorrow, whatever happens tomorrow is what happens tomorrow. You're not worrying about that right now. Now your conscious thoughts and influences, you have addicted and guilt and regret. Alright, I'm not going to rush through this. Like I said, your conscious thoughts and actions, you have addicted and guilt and regret. This is you still being in the present, but I'm hearing the following day. These are not thoughts buried in the back of your mind. These are thoughts that you're consciously aware of. Where you know you have a problem. But then with the addicted card, you know that you have a problem. For some of you, this could be literal, where you're overindulging in substances, whether it be alcohol, cigarettes, or something more serious. Like I said, living in the moment, living for today, you're overindulging in what you find entertaining and what you find that gives you amusement, that gives you satisfaction, that gives you a reason to live. You're overindulging. In a sense, that's harmful, but on the other hand, it can be the other way, where you're overindulging with spending, you're overindulging with partying, you're overindulging with taking too much free time. Yes, there is such thing as personal time, like having good balance between work and play. But with this addicted card, you're overindulging in your free time and putting off things you know you have to take care of and handle today. And you're presently aware that is a problem because, like I said, if you're overindulging in substances, if you're overindulging in spending, if you're overindulging in just having me time and not actually handling your responsibilities for life, with your life, bills are piling up, bills are piling up, your rent is due, you don't have anything to eat, like you have no food to cook, you don't have money to buy food, like you're overindulging in certain things and taking away from things that will actually sustain you and keep you alive in the long run. And like I said, with addicted here, you know it's a problem. But at the end of the day, I'm hearing, I'll do better tomorrow. I'll do better tomorrow. And that's what I'm hearing. I'll do better tomorrow. But in your case, tomorrow doesn't come. You go right back to the same behavior. And you do regret some of the choices that you make. Because although you like to live in the moment and just enjoy life and live carefree, at the end of the day, this can even sometimes be 5 minutes later, 2 minutes later, after whatever it is you did that brought you that temporary satisfaction. Like, why did I do that? You look back at, why did I do that? Why did I spend my last? Why did I say what I had to say what I said, like I got it like that, when you know full well when you know full well you don't even have two nickels sort together, like, oh, good spirit. For some of you, this could be quite literal, where you're broke and it's no joke, but at the same time, you front like you have money to play with, knowing dang well you don't even have money to guarantee you'll be able to eat that night. And you regret some of the things that you say, especially when you're around other people, because, like, why'd I have to promise that? Why'd I have to say that? Because now you're stuck wondering how you're even going to make that situation happen. And for some of you, I feel like this also could apply to work as well, where you're living in the moment, where you can be living in the moment at work as well. And you're making promises like, yeah, I'll be the one to handle that, yeah, I'll be the one to get that done, knowing full well you have a long list of responsibilities, and now you're adding in more, and you'll regret saying what it is you said or agreeing to take on more responsibilities, knowing full well you don't have the time for it. Okay, so in that sense, for some of you, living in the moment. Okay, so for some of you, living in the moment, being that I heard that living in the moment could apply more to your work life than your personal life, where you're living in the moment at work, you're doing what has to be done and working past your limits. And that would actually make more sense for Virgo. Because Virgo, you can be the type of person to over yeah, I'm going to get shit done. I'm going to get things done. Like, perfectionist level. I'm going to get shit done. But like I said, for some of y'all, you can be overindulging when it comes to work. If you're one of the few where you're overindulging with work and becoming a workaholic, if you're not already, you do have regrets with taking on more responsibility that you know you can't handle, and now you gotta find a way to handle it because you said you was gonna do it. Hmm. Dang, I'm sorry, I've just heard something that Spirit wanted to clarify before I was using the cards. If you're one of the ones where it does apply to work, you're not the type to volunteer to take on more work, but if you are asked, you are more than likely gonna say yes, because if left to anybody else, they're not gonna do as good a job as you, and most likely they're the ones that's gonna be, and most likely if it goes to somebody else, they're just gonna fuck it up. They're just gonna fuck it up like they fuck everything else up. So that could be for another person in particular. If you know they're gonna screw you, things are gonna go sideways if certain tasks go to them. So better chance you take it than them. Now again, that does not apply to all of you. That's just apply for the ones where they're overindulging in work. And for y'all, apparently it may be someone specific where you don't want certain tasks going to them. So you have a problem with it, but you don't have, but at the same time you don't have a problem with accepting more work if it's over here assigned to you or you're asked, because you know who they ask after you, and they're not the best choice, far from it, apparently. Anyway, those are your conscious thoughts and influences for your present the actions. Now subconsciously, your subconscious thoughts and influences, the first thing you have is calling the storm. For you, I'm hearing the struggle is real. You're aware of the mess you've gotten yourself into with all these reckless decision makings that you know are bad choices, but then the day you still continue with same old patterns. Same old toxic patterns that you know you gotta break because it's not healthy for you. See, I can understand why you have this as a subconscious thought or influence, because the way this is being presented to me, like the energy I'm feeling from this card, is like you see the mess and the chaos swirling around you. You see the storm that's going on around you. You see the chaos that is your life, but you're standing directly in the eye of the storm, which is the safest place to be. You're observing your mistakes. You're observing the chaos as it unfolds. You're analyzing it and breaking it down to understand how it is you got to this position. But again, this is all subconsciously. You're doing this subconsciously. You may not be aware of it, and if you are subtly aware of it, I feel like it's soon going to be influencing your conscious thoughts and influences. And this way the energy is presenting, I'm surprised it came before subconscious, because how it's presenting, it should have fit with your conscious thoughts and actions, because it's slowly making its way there. But right now it's still stuck in the subconscious. Anyway, the second card you have for your subconscious thoughts and actions would be triumph of lies. This card will typically speak to you're lying to yourself to make yourself feel better, like the way things are, like it's okay, like you're not overspending, you're not overeating, you're not overworking. You're just being productive and managing your time better than others. Alright, Virgo, I apologize for all the interruptions because it's getting ridiculous now. But at the same point, life with children. A part of you is aware of things that you're saying is a lie. That you're not just being productive. That you're not just being productive. That you're not just living your best life. You are overindulging to the max. That's why you always. Oh shit! That's why you always stay broke. That's why I always. Virgo, please do not come for the messenger. Even though this may not apply to all, this does apply to a vast majority of you. Take what resonates and leave the rest. But Spirit is saying you are aware you are lying through your teeth. You're overindulging in food, which is why you gain more weight. You're overindulging in spending, which is why you always stay broke. You're overindulging with sex, which is why you always run back and forth between the clinic. Like, oh my gosh, spirit. You overindulging with work, and you wondering why you may be feeling some year. And you're wondering why you may be having some health issues. It's because you're stressing yourself out to the max, taking on work you know very well you should not be doing. And now it's also affecting your mental, emotional, and even your physical health. You are aware of all of these things subconsciously. Do these thoughts sometimes drift into your conscious mind? Absolutely. But they are easy for you to bury deep and push them back into your subconscious mind and pretend they're not there. Just because you pretend they're not there does not mean they're not there, Virgo. It does not mean they're not there. Yes, the conscious mind is true, though. But I was not expecting that. And then we have obsession. I didn't even start to read the energy of the card, but I hope you feel like this is Sophia's strongest influence yet. For those of you who may be overindulging with work, subconsciously you have to be number one. You have to be the top pick. You have to be the top pick. You have to be the main choice. So you might have a job or career where it's highly competitive. If you feel like you have to be the best 100% of the time, 24/7, like there is no other better option than you. Now, for those of you who are overindulging in other areas and not work, it's becoming an obsession where you have to be the life of the party. You have to be the end all be all. You have to be there for your life support, meaning that if there's those around you that are going through a tough time, you're the one who'd be like, don't worry, I got you. While if you got them, who the heck got you? For those of you who are overindulging with spending or anything else in life, you're trying to live a life of luxury, but at the end of the day, you're gonna go broke and bankrupt. For some of you, might even live up on the street trying to maintain the image of your dreams because that's the life you want. But if you cannot sustain the life that you want, then what's the point? But that one too, that is your subconscious thoughts. That is, I can't even call this an influence because right now this is going these two are coming off as an influence. This one is coming off as an impulse. It's maybe a subconscious influence, but you're acting off it strongly, impulsively, without thinking. You may be if you're trying to figure out why if you're doing what you're doing and you already know it's wrong, and why you're acting off an impulse instead of taking the time to think, is because subconsciously you have this card. You have this kind of feeling where you have to be the best. You have to be the main. You have to be the focus. You have to be the life of the party. You have to be the support to your friends and family. Like, you have to. It's not a choice. It's not an option. You have to. This is not an influence. This is over here an impulse, is what I'm getting from spirit. I mean, you're doing it without thinking. You know that's in the subconscious mind. That's the strongest one yet. Anyway. Let's do the top overlay real quick. And top overlay and then the advice. What does spirit have to say to Virgo? Take this one, this goes here. What does spirit have to say to Virgo? Y'all saw that right. I hope y'all saw that. Give me one moment to go get those rest. Okay. Let's see if your third and final card is in here. The item of this. Like, okay. What is this three card? I'm not doing side messages. I'll be doing side messages in the beginning of next month. I am not doing side messages now. Even though they sometimes come out for my own personal readings, I'm not doing them now to the beginning of next month. Being that I'm just starting out on YouTube, I want to find my rhythm first before I start doing side messages. So and I do not read reversals. I read the energy of the card, but I do not read reversals. Okay, we have the King of Earth overlaying today for tomorrow, addiction and guilt or regret. Now the King of Earth is someone who is stable, someone who has gained wisdom through experience. He knows right from wrong as well as accept the consequences of the decisions that he make. And Spirit is asking you to hold yourself accountable. With the guilt and addiction, Spirit is saying that you are fully aware that you're indulging in bad habits that are not for your highest good. They're in no way for your best interest. It may have started out that way, but now I'm hearing the thing you love is what's gonna be what destroys you. With the King of Earth, you're being advised to take a hard look at your life, learn from your mistakes, and have more discipline. If you know the consequences of your action, take the time to think, is the risk worth the reward? If the answer is no, wait for a better time. Wait for when you're more secure and stable. What you want is not going anywhere, but your financial security is going. Oh shit! It's going down the toilet. So for a lot of y'all, this whatever you're indulging in is affecting you financially the most. Because throughout this reading, even as it slipped, money kept on coming up. Your finances kept on coming up. Now you have the Justice overlaying Addicted, Calm the Storm, and Triumph of Lies. So basically, bridging the gap between. Bridging the gap between the subconscious and the conscious mind. Again, this too speaks to holding yourself accountable. I'm hearing the scales are not in your favor. You are being judged by your spirit guide, and your spirit team. For those of you, actually, yeah, no, not just for those of you that are on your spiritual journey. The spiritual team around you that is supposed to work with you and help you along your way. You are being judged by them because you are, like I said, fully aware of what you are doing. Even in the present moment, you are fully aware of what you're doing and what this may end up costing you. So your subconscious thoughts reflect that because you're observing all your past mistakes, but you're not making necessary changes to actually curb your appetite for wanting more. If you know you cannot handle more, if you can't mentally, emotionally, physically, sexually, financially handle more, then why are you doing it? For lack of better words, because again, don't come from the messenger. This is how Spirit is saying it. Sit the fuck down and calm down. You are doing the most. You are acting out of line. You know this. You're aware of this. When things start happening around you that makes it difficult to go after what you claim you want or claim you need, that is a sign from your spirit team that you should not be doing it at this moment. You're already aware and they're reinforcing the fact that you should not be doing it at this moment. Yes, still some way somehow you try to continue and make it work. They're telling you to cut that out. Especially when you see the signs that's hard to do because there's there's hoops that you gotta jump through that weren't there before. That's your spirit team trying to stop you from making a mistake and slowing you down so you don't keep overindulging with yourself. Okay, yeah, that last knot was for me to calm down too. And the last overlaying, we have the Seven of Earth, overlaying Guilt of Regret, the Triumph of Lies, and Obsession. Some of y'all watching this reading, y'all are spiritual, and y'all may be thinking right now because you know what I'm talking about. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Because with the Seven of Earth here, again, for those of you who are spiritual, you are in communication with your spirit guides. Some of you may be in communication with your higher self, your ancestors. Mm. So you are aware, so you may be aware that they have been trying to talk to you about how to either improve your life or answer the question of why bad things keep happening to me. In a sense, Spirit is saying you're doing it to yourself because you're overindulging in things that aren't necessarily important, not in the long run. Now, for most of you, for others of you, this speaks to someone, if not Spirit, this speaks to someone who, around you who has warned you of your behavior, who has tried to redirect you to a different path and you just haven't been listening. You have not been heeding the advice you've been given. Right now it's time to ground yourself and find a little more stability. There's strength in numbers, rebuild your community. That's also what I'm hearing. Because some of you could have had a pretty decent friend group, had a strong support system. And like I said, for some of you, that may have changed when you started overindulging in whatever it is you've been doing, because the ones that were actually good for you moved away a little bit. They're still around, but they don't fuck with you like that because they know what you've been up to and how it's impacted your life, and they want no parts. So you're being advised to ground and center yourself. Reconnect with your family and friends and heed the wisdom and advice of your elders. Rebuilding the support system. I'm hearing rebuild the support system that's been structured for you. Okay. Now lastly, let's see what advice is being given to you. What is the overall advice for Virgo? Dang. Okay, what do we have to take for Virgo? What stays and what goes bye bye? Okay, like I said in my earlier readings, I do not look at my cards. I let Spirit tell me what to take and what to put back. Don't take that. I'm not doing 5 messages. 5 message. Take this, take this. Okay. So let's see what you got. Oh. This is interesting. For your overall advice, you have wrath and abuse. With this and ran. I find it so interesting. But at the same time, I did speak to it earlier. You are, for lack of better words, and I apologize in advance for how you may feel about this, but hey, it gotta come out. You, in a sense, are being punished, for lack of better words, and feeling the wrath of your spirit guides, your ancestors, your spirit team. Because, like I said earlier, they've been trying to send you messages. They've been trying to let you know that this is not the way. You're overindulging. You're overdoing it, because they know you're aware. They know you're aware that you're overindulging and overdoing it. You keep on making these things. You keep on bargaining with yourself, saying, "On tomorrow I'll do better. Tomorrow I'll do better. Tomorrow I'll do better." Tomorrow never comes. Well, guess what? Now tomorrow has to come. Because as long as you keep on fucking up, they gonna things are not gonna go right. Things are not gonna go right for you. They're not. When you know better, you do better. You know better. You know what you've been doing is wrong for yourself. And it's time to do better. That's not to say that whatever punishment that you're being given is going to be long term. The moment you start making the change, making the effort, because it doesn't have to be overnight, it doesn't have to be a 1, 2, 3 thing. The moment you start making a conscious decision to not limit yourself, but just to have more self-control and more self-discipline, then things will start improving, things will start getting better. You can still have what you want, but have some self-control, have some self-restraint, have some self-discipline. If you're not able to do it at that present moment and your spirit team is advising you not to, because it's not time yet, you're not ready yet, for whatever reason they give you, then have some patience and some self-discipline. And your second card for your overall advice, you did have ran for abuse. Okay, this may apply to some of you, not all of you, because I'm hearing you're abusing your power of manifestation. So some of the things you're getting, you did get it through manifestation work. And I know you may be wondering, how can you abuse with manifestation? Trust me, there are ways. Not everything is gonna. When you move in that energy, you can attract it to you, yes. But how best can I say it? Say, for example, if you manifested money and you got it, but then you waste it. You're wasteful with the manifestation by either giving it to someone else that doesn't really need it. They just asking because they know you have it, or you're spending all the money you have with no thought to what it is you really need or what you're planning to do with that money. And now you're trying to manifest more. Now you're trying to get more, and yeah. I know that may have been like poor example, but that's the one that comes to mind right now. What this one is, just be aware, for those of you that are spiritual, that those mainly applies to you. Be aware of the gifts that you have. Whether it be that you manifest easily, and things just naturally come to you. If you're the type of person where people are always giving you things or offering things, or you receive help out of the blue, do not abuse that. not to say be humble, just be mindful that not everybody receives this treatment and receives it with gratitude. Because you get help in your time of need in a way that nobody else does, and it's easy to take advantage of. You're being cautioned not to. But again, this one does not apply to all. This applies to a select few that knows that even though they've been overindulging, they do receive some sort of help to help them get by. And if you fit in that category, and if you've been abusing that help, this is for you. Spirit's telling you to cut it out because you know you're not right for that. Yes, you're receiving help, but receive it with gratitude, because not everybody always gets this kind of help. Or when they're in need and they'll just get it right away. Some people have to figure it out on their own. Whereas you are protected, you will have, as long as you're mindful. Let's just check real quick the bottom of the deck. Oh, you have the temple of my body. So yeah, some of y'all, whatever your overindulging is, and it's definitely affecting your health. It doesn't have to be food. It doesn't have to be substances such as alcohol. It can still be work related, where the stress is affecting you physically. Either you're gaining weight from overeating because you're so stressed you find comfort in food, or you are losing weight because you are overstressed and nothing is sticking to you. Which way that goes for you, you are aware of how your overindulgence is affecting your physical health, and it's not okay, and you should be taking better care of yourself, physically speaking. Why do I hear you trying to hold on to what you have? For some of y'all can be a little bit insecure with your looks. I'm hearing you're trying to hold on to what you have. So if you like the way you look, and you're getting scared because you no longer finding yourself like physically attractive, you don't like the way you look anymore because either you're gaining too much weight or losing too much weight, you are for some of you, that is motivation for y'all to calm down, because y'all want to get back to the way how you used to be. And how it is right now, this ain't it. Dang. Okay, well, Virgo, that is what I have for you. And that is what I have for you. I do hope that you did enjoy the reading and gain some insight from it. If you did, please do hit the subscribe button, as there will be more videos to come. That being said, I shall see you in the next one. Bye, Virgo.